Hi, everybody. We are live from our bedroom in our postpartum recovery haze. You are going to be watching Mr. Man here. You're welcome to come on anytime you like. Me and the girls are yearning to nurse that baby boy, so I'll take him from you, and we'll wait for some people. Or you know what? I'll wait. He looks like he's in a good mood. So welcome, everybody. This is our second attempt at getting things going here. We're going to be talking to Valerie Lynn later about her new mommy wellness kit and about the postpartum recovery period. And the idea was Craig was going to do this for me because I want to get back in bed and just be with my little one, which is a big part of the postpartum recovery period, is just having that time to be a mama. And that's what it's about, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be joined by not only Valerie Lynn, but maybe later Sheila Pye, who's a counselor, and who I did some artwork with, some, what's the word I'm looking for, like therapeutic artwork, pre-baby, which really helped me a lot, really helped me to get into a good mental space before having the baby, and the experience was amazing. We had the baby here at home. This is my fourth baby, my third home birth, and my first unassisted, or at least on purpose unassisted. We had another child unassisted, but that was not on purpose. So I'm going to have Craig come on here and talk for a little bit, and I'm going to work on the other computer, getting Valerie and Sheila and our other guests on and making sure they know where to go now that we're live and back on the air with everybody invited correctly. Oofy lala. Oof. I take him. You want to say hi? No? Okay. He didn't want to talk.
Wow. Okay. Hello, everyone, again. So we'll start. Today we're going to be talking with Valerie Lynn, author of the Mommy Plan, as well as possibly Sheila Pye, maybe even possibly Joe Valley. And we're going to talk about the postpartum period. So I'll go back to kind of give you a rundown of how things have gone with us in the past. And that is with the first one we had in the hospital. We ended up in the hospital for about 7 days afterwards, so I think that's difficult if you have to be in the hospital during, at least for mom, during that dip in the hormone levels, and so that was difficult, and Gena had some postpartum issues after our first daughter. After our second, there was postpartum, but it was really tough to figure out the difference between that and what was just going on naturally with having a child with Down syndrome. And hello, Gena. Hello, Gena. Having a child with Down syndrome. Having a child with Down syndrome. Just have those. I mean,
I'm going to have to turn it off. Sorry.
So you have those issues that you just have to deal with something that's maybe unexpected, because we knew about it beforehand. We had some markers that told us, but those markers went away and we kind of forgot about it, and so it was kind of like a surprise, I guess. And then with our third child, with Charlie, that was a nice home birth, water birth, and actually, Gena had some really bad postpartum with the second. The third one was a little bit better, but she's had postpartum issues with all three births. Now, so far, we have paid a lot more attention to the postpartum period this time, and I think we are finding that we're having less issues up to this point. Of course, we're only 5 days in. There's a lot of time between now and the next 6 months, and hormone levels can change and things can change. So we're going to have to be vigilant in making sure that we continue to do the things that we've already started. But the reason why we're here today is because I need to learn more about the postpartum kit that Valerie Lynn put together, and so she's actually going to walk me, and by walking me, actually walk you through the use of this kit, how it's used, what it looks like, kind of the steps involved, some of the things like there'll be some menu items that she's put together that go along with it. We'll look at some of those. We'll go over the product use guide. We'll look at the items. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to try and get an update on what's going on with getting our guests on here.
All they have to do is go to the link that Sheila shared and that I shared on Google and click go on Hangout, and you come on right away. That my video pops up right away. So we're just waiting for them to kind of figure that out.
Okay. Okay. So it's going to be about a minute or so.
Okay.
Valerie's installing an app on her computer. As soon as that happens, we'll have her on. So maybe you can message Sheila Pye, and maybe we could talk to Sheila a little bit at the very beginning.
Yeah.
2 viewers. Is she on now? Who's on? Somebody's on.
Go to the Q&A.
Q&A.
If all else fails, you can
now it says 1 viewer. Alright, we'll go back to, no, we'll go back to chat. Well, if you don't know, we're in Austin, Texas. It is a, yes.
Sit back here with me, I can talk until we come in.
Somebody else is on now, if you want to.
Yeah, they'll pop up as a video person.
Sheila. Hello, Sheila. Did you click on as a video guest? Do you want to come on?
We'd love to have you.
We'd love to have you on. Okay, I think Sheila Pye might be getting on right now. We'll see. Otherwise, Valerie Lynn's going to be coming on. Anyway, so we're here in Austin, Texas. It's raining here. It was like monsoon weather last night. We were having crazy lightning and everything. Oh, I know one thing we can do. I am a brand new daddy again for the 4th time, and since I've been a daddy, I've been wearing my daddy sweatshirt because it's been cool and rainy here the last couple of days from Daddy and Company. So thanks. They actually gave me this sweatshirt, so I just wanted to say thank you to them. Yeah, it's crazy here, but Sheila, are you on?
She's asking how to click on as a video guest. I'm showing her a picture.
Okay.
I'm wondering if you would be willing to share that I really don't want to get on the bed this bottom route.
Look, Valerie's on, I think.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, so Valerie, how are you?
Hi, good, Craig. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Nice to see you. So, it's been a while. We've been going back and forth on email, so we finally get a chance to see each other and talk and dive into the postpartum period. And I've been telling our viewers that this is the 4th child for us. And with the first 3 children, we did have, Gena had postpartum depression. one birth, it was, I would say, pretty bad.
What number?
Huh?
Which number?
It was number 2. Number 2. It was very bad, and it might have been, like I was alluding to before, that was also our daughter with Down syndrome, and so it was kind of going through that unexpected event that might have lent to things being a little bit worse. But one thing I was telling everybody that I have noticed is that so far with this pregnancy, we have been paying more attention to the postpartum period, and it's been a lot better so far. And I said we need to be vigilant, and that's why we're here, because I need to learn more. So please tell me about what you do and your book and the postpartum kit, how it's going to help me, and show me what to do.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I'd like to apologize for the viewers that we got started late. And I'd say congratulations. I've been having my little glass of champagne here to say congratulations to Gena and Craig and little Jack. Welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
And this is the perfect scenario to explain everything to a dad. So I'm usually speaking to the mom. I've been insisting that the dads get on the phone when they do purchase the postnatal care set, or what's rebranded the New Mommy Wellness Kit, because mommies are so busy and they really can't organize themselves to be able to use the products. They're worried about the baby. They're tired. They're just not functioning to take care of themselves. So it's a matter really of swapping out some products that they already use, but it's really also being organized and knowing what state that a mommy's body is in after childbirth. Now, going back to my book, The Mommy Plan, what I explained to dads, and in the Mommy Plan there's an abridged, the last chapter is an abridged chapter called The Daddy Plan. So you don't have to read everything. The last chapter is all about you. Can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure.
I'm not sure here. Yes, I think we can hear you okay. Yes.
You can hear me? Okay. So in the last chapter, it gives you an abridged version of the entire book, so you can just have the. I worked with several dads to just pick out important information that they thought from the book. So that's something just for you, an FYI. Now, what we need to understand is for 10 months, Gena and every other pregnant woman is in a hot state. And this is all based on science called the humoral theory of medicine, HURMORAL. Now, as the body serves for an incubator for the baby. That's why we're always hot when pregnant. We're always by a window. We're always fanning ourselves because we're just hot. The body temperature, basal body temperature rises 0.5 to 1.5 degrees and is sustained for the entire time that the pregnancy, a mom's pregnant. Then when she has the baby, she's with the birth of the baby, the body heat is lost, the baby's body heat, the placenta, the blood, a lot of blood, right? 50% of the fluids are, a lot of it is lost. And she's exhausted from labor, whether it be a cesarean labor or, which I had an emergency cesarean, so I was still exhausted and tired, and your body is still dealing with the pharmaceuticals. That it shifts into a cold state. So what happens is the basal body temperature is lowered 0.5 to 1.5 degrees below. So it's a shift into a cold state. Even though you're going to have hot flushes and cold flushes, it's still in a cold state. So things such as wearing foot covering, whether it's socks or slippers or something, just to not come in contact all the time with cold floors and surfaces, not to be sitting in direct air conditioning, direct fans, things that will just kind of chill the body. You don't want her to be chilled. Okay, and even though summer's coming, and I know God knows Texas is hot, I've never visited your state, it's still a cold state, and so that needs to be taken care of. And just the state, how much time do we have, by the way?
About 45 minutes.
45 minutes, okay, all right, I'll jump into the products. But I just wanted to make sure people understand as well that the condition of a woman's body that I'm reading on page 55 is what you're dealing with. So it's in a cold stage, waterlogged, bloated, swollen, carrying excess fat, the sluggish circulatory and digestive system, as well as metabolism stall after childbirth. the body starts recovering approximately 2 hours after the placenta is birthed. So it's a huge dip in hormones. Just like when you go cold turkey swimming or like drugs, your body goes into that shock. That's what a woman's body is going to go through as well, because it's just a huge dip in the hormone level. And then there's joint pain, sore breasts, if there's been an episiotomy, hemorrhoids, the hot and cold flashes, urinary and fecal inconsistence. So you're dealing with a lot, and I won't go into the others because they're in the book. But on top of the breast milk and rebalancing the hormones, you're dealing with all the physical ailments as well that the body's trying to recover. So really what you can do and how the set works is that it has 52 herbs in it, and it's absorbed by the body, and the body instinctively knows what to do with it. In this case, the body is releasing retained water and fat and air and flatulence that's been retained to support the baby. So the herbs that is going to be used is used by the body instinctively: anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, circulatory. So that's really a lot of the main functions of the herbs. So what you can do is for example, switching out the soap right away. These are products for mommy, just and only for mommy. These are for her. So it's okay that no one else uses them, not the kiddies or yourself, because her body needs these ingredients. So you have to protect her from any kind of chemicals. Then within this month would be great, but especially for the first 7 days. And so that will interfere not only with her hormonal rebalancing and her body's recovery, it'll interfere with the herbal medicine, the herbs that are in the products, and that goes for any kind of herbal medicine. So she should be protected from that. And immediately what you could have done the first day, you could have done the feminine wash. Okay, so what, if you'd like, I'll just go into the products that are in the set, and I do have them next to me. I don't know if people will get confused without seeing them. But there is a chart provided. I developed 2 charts based on, I don't know if you could see or not sure, just a chart, just a usage chart. And I've given moms a choice of 18-day or a 30-day program, because I want the products to be used. They must be used. They can't be put to the side, left in the box. They need to be used, and that's why it's important for you to take on that role of reminding and making them up for her. And it is very simple. For example, the feminine wash. The feminine wash comes in sachet form. Each product is in sachet form, or it's in a packet for single usage. So already divided up for you. Okay, so you saw this before. The postnatal care set that's going to now be rebranded as the New Mommy Wellness Kit. So when you open it, actually I can't really see what I'm showing. You have these wonderful products that are all in here. That what I've created is what moms what moms really need, and it's 8 of the top popular postnatal products that moms buy in the United States, plus additional products that help maximize the skin's absorption. So that's also important to prepare the skin. That's why out of the 11 products, there's one garment, one tea.
I just wanted to show everybody, this is what you were talking about. This is the box, the feminine herbal wash. And then here's the package with the sachets inside. And there's a number of them. There's
14.
Yes, correct. And so I just wanted to show them that, and then I'll let you go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good, because my screen's a bit small. I can't tell what I'm showing. But again, what I've laid out very clearly and simply is a printable product usage chart. 18-day and a 30-day. So you just print it out, and then you plug in your birthday, the day you gave birth, on the first day, and then you could go from there. By day 5, you can start using the products, and it's encouraged that you use the products by day 5. If you're not feeling well, if something is medically wrong, you can delay it. Just again, you just push back the date, and the date you start, you put on day 5, and then you start your 18-day or your 30 days from there. But it's very simple. You have your morning products that you use, and then you have your evening products that you use. So for example, if you started on Labor Day, day that you give birth, you can use the feminine wash, virgin coconut oil, and the lavender spray. So starting with the feminine wash, as you saw, it was just a sachet that you put in a quart of water or a liter of water, 1 or 2. You can use each one twice if you'd like. Some women like it strong, some women like it weaker. And you slow simmer it for an hour. You let it covered. And then you take the solution, you let it cool, and you can use it as a sitz bath, as a herbal wash, or a spray. And I just want to show you.
Okay, so, and I'll just keep talking while you're coming back. Let's just say we're starting at day 5 today.
Okay. So day 5, you have your feminine wash. So you make that just on the stove. You add a liter of water or a quart of water if you'd like. And then when it cools just to warm, take a spray bottle and just put some in a spray bottle. I mean, you could use like maybe like a fourth, 1/4 of the spray bottle. Put this by the toilet. So every time Gena uses the bathroom, she can spray the perineum area. And and not to wipe it after she's wiping, because the pad will soak up everything and she'll have the herbs in there, which are anti-inflammatory and disinfectant, antibacterial. And then you can just pour some either in a bowl, like this one, and just have like a feminine wash so you can wash, or you can buy a sitz bath, which are very inexpensive. I just picked this up at Rite Aid for $17. And then you can also do that. It depends on your tearing, what you want to do. And it's very simple. You just, after you pour solution in the spray bottle, you pour the rest of it in the sitz bath or the wash, and then you just wash the area or soak the area. And it's very good for tears. And even an off-label usage for this is putting some of it on, which they do in Malaysia, where this product's come from, is they put it on the cesarean incision, and again, it just promotes healing. Not to soak it, but just to put some on there. So this is a really wonderful product. Now, it should be used every day for 14 days if you're going by the 18-day schedule. So that's what you do. So if this was I recommend in the morning if possible. Then you have your postnatal. If I continue with day 5, then in the morning you have breakfast with the postnatal tea. Do you want to show them that package with the tea?
Yes, the herbal tea. This is the herbal tea. I'm already.
Yeah, so the herbal tea is
and they're like large tea packets, like you would find in a large tea box in a store. And now I'm going to go back to you.
Okay, so with the tea, this is for the mom, and recommend you drink this twice a day, in the morning with your breakfast, an hour after breastfeeding, so everything goes to the mom and not the baby. Because this is all about the mom, and that's why we have to have a mindset that we have to shift the focus to heal the mom, because once you heal the mom, she can better take care of the baby and the family and function in life. So this is twice a day. Again, with tea with the breakfast, and then tea with dinner. And you could have 5 to 7 ounces of water with it. Let it steep for 3 minutes or so, 3 to 5 minutes. And you could have any kind of natural sweetener, whether it's date syrup, honey, stevia, if you want a squeeze of lemon, and you could drink it. And I've gotten, really good feedback and testimonials from moms who really love the tea, and it's very warming. And what the tea does is it helps break up the blood clots in the lochia, as well as help shrink the womb and just start all the circulation going. Because again, Gena's circulatory, digestive, and metabolism are stalled at this point, and it takes several weeks for them to get back to normal. So that's why you don't eat heavy meals, you don't eat big pieces of meat or lasagna or something, because that's weighs on the digestive system, so it takes the body's energy away from the healing, hormonal rebalancing, and it will go to digestive to digest it. So it basically stops the healing. That's why we have a start-stop healing process in America with hormonal rebalancing. So when the digestive system is finished, then it puts its energy back into the healing process.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, since you brought that up, because I would say we haven't been the best on that. Now, I thought did you get some advice, Gena, about eating heavier protein at the beginning? Immediately postpartum, eating more protein. So we did a little bit of that. I think we were a little overboard on that at the beginning, and I think she had a little dip, probably because of it. So why don't you address what we did, and if you're not supposed to do that, what you are supposed to do?
Okay, well, it all depends on where you're getting your source of protein from. Remember, cows with the digestive system stalled, and that's key. Like, there's key things like that, you know. And this is a temporary state. With the digestive system stalled, we all know, or most people know, that dairy from cow has the largest molecules of dairy, of like goat's milk and sheep's milk and things like that. So that is just hard on the digestive system. If she's getting, you know, digested from really soft beans that have been in a slow cooker, and beans, you have to worry about the outer coat of the bean that's supposed to be sometimes a little bit too much fiber. So that's why when moms get constipated after childbirth, or go to the bathroom for 5 days to a week, again, it's because the digestive system is stalled. The tea really helps with that, okay? And then also drinking warm, nothing colder than room temperature. And I tell mom, what I say, I tell the moms 80-20 rule, because I know it's like only, you know, room temperature is not enjoyable sometimes, but it's about being able to have the body absorb water, absorb what you're having, like homemade broths, homemade soups, chicken soup, chicken broth. And I say broth, not the soup, not the potatoes and the chicken and other things. You can eat that, but drink it like a tea. Drink it like a beverage. And it's just wonderful and nourishing, and that's really important. You can even do like a miso and homemade broth from the bones, because you get the minerals out of that. So I don't know what sources of protein Gena was getting them from, but again, the dairy is very hard for the body to digest at this time.
She had a little bit of, mostly I would say we started with eggs and a little bit of meat.
How did you cook that? Prepare the meat. It should be really soft, and it should be like 3 to 4 ounces per serving.
Yeah, it was a very light amount, and then very lightly cooked. I mean, she likes rare anyways, so it was very lightly cooked. Now, I would say, I would ask, would you follow, do you want to watch like how your bowel movements are and everything in order to determine how you're eating? Because she hasn't had constipation. In fact, her first movement was not constipated at all. And in fact, she was very happy about her first one compared to the last 3 pregnancies. I know. So should you be watching that as a cue for how your body's doing?
Yes, for sure. And I mean, usually it's the problem where directly after birth, it's like 5 to 7 days. If Gena's had that already, then she should be okay from what she's eating, and she's doing that carefully. But the digestive system, circulatory metabolism are still stalled, and they will be for several weeks. So continuing eating the way you have been, and maybe modifying it a bit with some of the recipes, adding broths to it, that the recipes I sent you from the Healing Meals, and just having more soft things, and 3 meals a day, 2-3 snacks, and not a lot of heavy things. There are specific things whereby your body you should stay away from, like gassy things, like things that are usually on the healthy list. Sometimes the body can't handle them, like a lot of salads. Even though we say they're really good, and they are, that's roughage and digestion. Sometimes the body can't handle it after birth. So like gives you gas, like broccoli or cauliflower, different kind of beans. There is a diet diet do's and a diet don't list in the mommy plan. And I did write in there that the mommies can look at it and do the 80-20 rule, how they can adjust their diet, because even if they're eating, even if they like salad, and maybe just cut down the size, and maybe eat it at, let it not be really cold out of the fridge, because the body, anything cold you drink or eat, the body is going to, again, take its energy to heat it up. So you have a cold ice glass of water. It's going to take the energy away from rebalancing and recovering to heat up the ice water, and then when that's done, it's going to go back. So again, it's a start-stop process of hormonal rebalancing, and that's really why, in my opinion, we have such high rates. We have 1 million mothers a year, that new cases each year that suffer some kind of postpartum, emotional illness. So it's a matter of not shocking the body.
It sounds to me, and this is kind of what I'm getting out of what you're saying, is that if you stick with something a little closer to a soup, something with a broth, something where any meat or vegetables that might be in it have been slowly cooked over a long period of time, so that the fibrous tissues and everything have been broken down, that you can't go wrong with those items. The closer you get to raw, the closer you get to anything that would normally give you gas when you weren't pregnant, is probably going to be difficult on the system. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So maybe we should we get back to the plan?
Okay. So the
now
herbal.
that we've gone over food.
Wonderful. Okay. So you're talking about, okay, so getting into the tea. The tea is really wonderful. Twice a day, an hour after breastfeeding, so the baby is full, and it goes to the mom, and it helps with the lochia. And I've had a lot of really wonderful comments about the tea. Okay, then if we go with day 5, and the picture froze, I'm not sure. I'll continue talking.
You're good. You're still moving.
Okay, so the combination use today on the 5, you have the herbal bath, the soap, the bore scrub, and the herbal oil. Okay, so the herbal bath is something that you have this every day for 14 days. You add it to the bath. You take a sachet. Again, if you could show the sachet.
I can. Hold on just 1 second. I'm not sure I put it down.
What were you going to say?
Oh.
Yeah,
Here we go.
The herbal bath sachet. Actually, the sachets really look the same, so you have to be careful. If you open them, you can't just open them and throw them on the counter. You might mistake a feminine wash for a herbal bath, and there are different herbs in it. Although they do have the base of turmeric, as you can see, is yellow. So you take the sachet, you put it in 2 liters of water, and you let it maybe 45 minutes to an hour, slow simmer, and you could even leave it in there and let it steep, and then you could add it to a bath. I've even used this when I'm not, the other day, I even took like a nice herbal bath. So it's really wonderful, and again, it's all about infusing the herbs into the body that will help the mom recover. And it also helps, it's a wound healer, it helps tearing, with the feminage and the herbal bath. And you add it to a bath. And if you want to add other little things, like a flower or something that makes you feel good, makes your bath special, then you could that. And then you soak for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now, most people who say, okay, they've had a cesarean, then they shouldn't be waterlogged. And that's true. You can take a low bath where you don't have to have it over the cesarean, but it gets into it. You could do what's it called? You can do a sponge bath as well, and you can do that all over your body. And there's a whole video that I produced with this set now that gives explicit instructions and video that you can see what you can do and your options. But you need to keep your body clean and deodorized during this period as well.
And where is that video?
The video, that video is, there's an introduction. There's 2 introductory videos that are short on my website, and then when people buy the set, it's a special link that people will have to the instructional video. But there are highlights of it on the video, so people get the gist of it.
Okay, so we have. I'm going to interrupt you here just because we have one question on, and let me get back to that question. The question is, how do perfumes from visitors? So somebody comes over to the house, they're wearing, say, a little heavy perfume. How does that interfere with hormones or hormone adjustment?
I would think any strong smell, like that type of artificial smell, would interfere.
Okay. Now, and I'm assuming, is that why that goes hand in hand with like how you were asking me if we had any chemicals in the house or anything of that nature, that those 2 things run together, correct?
Yes. Again, it's something that's artificial, like a very strong. I mean, at this time, the body is just so sensitive, and it's not a perfect science. Hormones are not a perfect science, and no matter what, and we know what can influence them. But I would think any kind of strong smell at this point would affect the hormonal change. But also, like something like a lavender or something that's relaxing, like the lavender spray that's in there, whatever helps mommies relax. That's why that has such an effect too. And when you do it in not just a spray, not just to spray it, but to actually spray it, inhale it, hold it, release it, it has a profound effect on the mommy. The clothes, you can even spray it in the bathroom, you can add it to the bath, you can do baby's clothes, pillows. If mom likes something like a lavender scent, that the lavender floral water is in the set. And that's something that's used on a daily basis. I know moms even carry it in their purse before they have the baby, because they can use it for the last minute hormonal kind of surges. And I remember Gena's Gena's picture of her, and she was, I don't know how many points pregnant. I thought it was hilarious, with that, that angry look on her face. It was so funny. So moms, have used it before, can use it before as well. But yes, okay. I would say perfume. Wipe it off. Have wipes at the door.
Yeah, just or ask visitors if they're coming over. Please, nothing extra today.
Have them right. I don't know. It's America. It's really hard for people not to visit because we have the baby showers and they give us presents, so we're a little obligated. We feel like they need to come over and see the baby. So baby showers were not popular overseas, but now they're following our lead on that, and so they're getting pressure for people to come over too. But have them come over after a month if possible. If not, kind of, I'm not lightly say, please don't wear heavy perfumes.
Okay, so we've gone over the herbal bath and the soap, and I'm looking at the program right along with you.
Soap is wonderful. Soap is a brown formulation herbal soap. It has about 15 different herbs in it. And it has, what's really unique about this soap is that it has ground white rice and brown rice in it. So when it becomes wet, it's a mild abrasive. So it's a mild exfoliant for the skin, and people love the soap. They really love it. And again, this is all for the mom. Use right on the skin, everywhere. And this, because the skin exfoliates a lot easier than you'd think. So you don't have to you don't have to really scrub hard. And so that again prepares the skin for maximum absorption.
And then the so the scrub and the herbal oil complete bath time, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah. After the bath, you have the Valerie scrub, and you scrub again. It's all herbs that go into the body. And then afterwards, you have the recirculation herbal oil that goes directly on. Now, some women, they find it sometimes after, when they're left alone, that it's difficult to have both the virgin coconut oil and the herbal oil, even though I do state try to have one in the morning, one in the evening. I recommend. Some people, for simplicity, mix it together, and so at least they I don't know how the smell would be for me, but for simplicity they do. And even I've had moms where they get swollen afterwards. Now Gena did not look swollen at all. Is she getting any fluid swelling now as the body releases the fluids, or no? Her ankles getting swollen? Any joints?
No, not really. I would say actually, well, yeah, that was like day 2, I think. Day 3, she got a little bit of swelling in the hands, and it retained just a little bit, but for the most part, no, she hasn't had much swelling at all.
Okay, that's great. So, I mean, if it does come back, take the herbal oil, and on the hands is a bit hard when you're not going to touch the baby. But elsewhere, even on the body, to help release. Got moms where they've asked their husbands or the daddy or their primary caregiver to massage their ankles and their legs, that part, as some water by the end of the night, they were swollen. They said by the next day, they said that there's significant difference.
Well, Gena said after she heard you say about rubbing the feet and the ankles that actually she does have swelling. So I guess I'll be doing that as soon as we get off of here.
Suddenly I have all kinds of swelling.
She said they're huge now. I don't know what happened in the last 5 minutes.
So it comes and goes. She can't predict it. Okay.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the mommy wrap. So it's the abdominal wrap.
Okay, I'm going to go grab, I have that one out, so you can start talking about it and I'll go grab it.
Okay, so this mommy wrap is based on the Malaysian Bengkung design. That is a longer design that goes from just under the breast down to the hips. It's tied from the bottom up, so from mid-hip up down to the breast. And it looks like a shoelace. This one just goes side to side, and you're just, and it goes just like a shoelace. And as you go up, you just tighten it a little, tighten a little. If you have a cesarean, then you can just support that area and just tie a bit tighter above the navel. And then after 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how you feel, you can do a little bit tighter on the bottom. And you feel your incision is strong, and you can always recommend to consult your doctor.
Okay, I'm just going to show, I have it out.
Again, now the tie goes at the bottom.
No one can hear him.
Yep.
So the tie goes at the bottom.
You start from the tying up from the hips up. And so you're just taking it and you're wrapping it around. And so those two laces, rows of laces. You can choose which one you can start with. A lot of moms start with the one that's closest to the shoelace, to the piece of string, the cloth, the long cloth, and then as you shrink, a lot of times they move to the second one. And so, and again, the video that comes with the set shows how to put that on. And either you can get help from someone if someone's there, or you lay it on the bed, and then it shows you where you line it up and how you lace it. After a few tries, it's pretty easy. Like for me, for trade shows, I will wear that. One, of course, for advertising, but two, because it's wonderful support for the core. And right now, since mommy's in a cold state, her core needs to be kept warm, as well as you just feel all just kind of floppy and bloated in that area, and it's just weak. And so having the core supported, as well as the hips, because we open 10 centimeters, we've got to close 10 centimeters. You tend to forget that and hold the perineum area. That's why there's not people in cultures like Malaysia don't have like any prolapses, uterine prolapses and things like that, because of this type of garment. Okay, so that combination with the firming paste.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I noticed here that it's combination use with the firming paste. Is it combination use all the way through, or is there a period where maybe you're just using the wrap for, like you said, just to sort of tighten everything up and keep everything together in that early stage?
Yeah, you can use it without the firming paste. The firming paste is only for 14 days, and depending how large you are or small you are, you can get two uses out of each pack. It all depends. You just mix that. It's in ground form. You just mix it with 2 tablespoons of water, possibly 3. You just want a thick paste, and you want to put it on your tummy if you can get from your waist in, and the areas that you can see where the skin is more saggy. You concentrate areas of the paste on that. Then you cover it, and again, this is all in the video. You cover it with a white cloth that serves as a bandage, so the burning paste is not absorbed by the wrap, and it's infused again into the tummy. And then you wrap it. And I've had remarkable testimonials from people about the firming paste. I even have some people who wanted to use this, and they haven't given birth, and it just tightens up the stomach, and it takes out the excess water, and it encourages the cells the stomach muscles to become stronger and the cells to decrease. So the firming paste is really wonderful. But the garment on its own, like I said, I've used it if I have a sore back. And again, you have the relaxation hormone in the body up to about 12 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks. So you're curved, you go like concave to convex with the spine. So this really helps it, and it helps with breastfeeding, because as you know, the tummy was out and the back was curved. Now it's going to be breastfeeding, and it's going to curve the other way, so it's going to cause back pain. So wearing this type of wrap, this will help you with breastfeeding and posture. And if you do feel like your tummy is tight, it becomes tight on your tummy when you're breastfeeding, that means that you're slouching. So that's a way to remember. Because I've had moms say, I don't know, it gets all tight when I breastfeed, and I'm like, well, it's because you're slouching. So that's why this will help your posture.
Okay, so now I was just thinking about something, because I am talking to you, and we're basically, you're telling me what needs to be done in regards to the kit with Gena, and so I thought maybe I should probably talk about a couple things that I was thinking about while you were telling me about these things, and that is like what Dad can do, like what I can do for Gena is, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, and you can tell me if there's something I'm forgetting as well, but making the teas, getting the baths prepared, these are things that the extra energy that it takes to do that in Mom's state can change this from being a rejuvenating experience or a rebuilding experience to making it a job and something that's maybe not even doing her the potential good that it could do, because she has to do the extra work. So what Dad can do is help to prepare these items. He can prepare the space for her to get better. And I'm just going to say one thing. This is a personal thing from men to other men, or a man to other men. Just like anything else in this world, if you put the work into this ahead of time, the benefits that you get out of it are 10,000 times better. So if you put the time in at the beginning, instead of waiting until Mom has postpartum symptoms, that's the important thing. You know, help her get through these things before there are issues, because we're talking about this in regards to the issues that women are having today, but a lot of it is because we're not paying attention to it as early as we can, and the men aren't getting involved as much as they could have. Now, luckily for me, Gena's had a lot of support on this birth from other women in the community, and they've helped with those things, and I haven't had to do everything. But if you have to do everything, and do it right away, and make sure that it gets done for mom, because it's just going to benefit everybody in the family. So anyways, I wanted to have my little thing, and then I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's great, and you're exactly right. I mean, with the dads that realize that they're going to have maybe, I think, yeah, like 3 days to 5 days off, it's not going to be a vacation. You're not going to watch football. You're there, and you have to get in that mindset to, you got to support the mom, and you know what, you want to plan. Men like to be able to contribute. What can you do? And I've been working very closely with some families, and a lot of times it is women who have suffered from postpartum depression the first time or second time, and they're like, I need to take care of myself. I need something. They're really desperate because they're so afraid of it. Again, so I always say, if I'm going to get on the phone with someone, I want the primary caregiver or the dad. And for the dad, it's about making the products, having them available, telling the mom, okay, this morning, let's do this and this, and this, let's see. And so really planning out the day where, okay, this is what she needs to use, and knowing it's going to help, because it's going to help her, it's going to help her heal, and she's going to be able to better take care of the baby, herself, family. And as well as cooking is really important too. And that's why my next book, and right now it's being developed, it's called Healing Meals, Simple Recipes for New Moms. And it's written based on the nutritional and the food guidelines from the mommy plans, but it was written really for the dads to be able to cook simply and to prepare things, but also to have certain herbs and spices that, again, will help the digestive system be circularized and kick-started again. So the dads and primary caregivers play a tremendous role. And so I wish they just had more time off. That's why in the daddy plan I try to say, if you start early enough, leave your 2 weeks vacation until the baby comes. See if you can take an extra week off unpaid. Try and budget, because in the long run, it's going to be really important. And in our culture, where it's a DIY self-help culture, this is just what we have to do. And so I'm so happy that Gena has you and you're interviewing. This is the perfect scenario for me to talk to a dad about this, and not the mom.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, because mom is not going to hear that information the way it's being presented, because she's in a different place, and she's going to take things whatever way she's taking them at the time, you know, depending on how the hormones are coursing through her veins at that moment. And it needs to be somebody from the outside. It needs to be somebody. She needs to be taken care of. I mean, this is the time. This is the one time. Like, my wife is not a weak person. Okay.
I met your wife.
Yeah, I never feel like I have to take care of my wife. I mean, my wife travels the world, you know, most of the year without anybody with her. I never feel like my wife has to be taken care of. This is the only time my wife needs to be taken care of, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. I mean,
no, and women do need to have the mindset too that I need a little TLC and some downtime. Not I'm going to go and prepare, you know, a luncheon for the 12 house guests that are going to visit 3 days after I have the baby.
Yeah, and you know what? That's something too. That's another thing. We've actually just been dealing with that lately. That's one of the things where the couple has to. You have to talk about what you're going to do in these situations when people start coming over. Because I've already had my tizzy one morning when somebody showed up at 9 in the morning, and I had just barely gotten up, you know, and I wasn't expecting them. I don't know if Gena was expecting them. I think she was, but I didn't know, you know. And so you have to talk about those things together and make sure that you have a plan for what you're going to do and how you're going to limit people coming over, because, you know, everybody's coming over with good intentions, but that doesn't mean that it's always going to be the best outcome just because they have good intentions. Sometimes we feel like we have to entertain these people when they come over, so you end up doing extra work, you know, when you should be relaxing, And so the mom and dad or the new parents have to discuss how they're going to handle those issues, and then go ahead and do it, that way without backing down. I think it's one of those times where it's okay to say no to people.
Mm. No, it is. Of course, you have to be a little selfish, and moms don't realize that. And it's quite funny, just different things are changing. But I actually had someone, I wrote this book in Malaysia, and it's not my culture. And I actually had someone today order a book for me from Malaysia, trying to understand the culture and saying, I don't know how I'm going to, do this in Malaysia. And I said, well, you got to have family, and there's, it's like the #1 country in my view for postnatal recovery. And it's interesting how people are reaching out to me, and they're worried about their recovery. And then when we don't have this here, and it's even much harder for moms. So that's why dads play such a key role, and you need to be a little bit selfish. But people do feel like they think they're going to be okay, and that's why they don't give them that. So that's why I really try to get people in on day 5 when there's people around and people realize you just had the baby, that to start. So you start a couple weeks later, it might be a bit more stop-start, and women are missing a healing window of opportunity. When I tell people, pregnancy is about 280 days roughly, okay? And we have the 6-week checkup. I go by that, which is 42 days. So in 42 days, roughly 80% of the physical revision takes place of the perineum organs, and probably 80% of the hormonal rebalancing. That's only 15% of the time a woman is spent pregnant, but so much happens in that period. So there's a huge healing window of opportunity that we're missing. It's like if you wait 6 weeks to go to the hospital for a broken arm. What kind of recovery are you going to have? You're going to have a weak and prolonged recovery. So that's why I try to get people to realize that 3 billion people on the planet have postnatal recovery practices. But we don't have this here with the diminished role of the midwife since the late 1800s. And then it was a status symbol to go into hospitals and so forth. So we just lost this knowledge. So, but we're trying to bring it back.
So, I apologize, but I'm going to push this a little quicker because we have about 15 minutes left, and I know that you probably after the mommy wrap, before we get into the evening, the lavender spray is sitting there on the guide. So maybe you can tell me why, specifically why it's there, and then we can go into what to do during the evening.
Sure. Well, the lavender spray is something that can be used throughout the day. So I put that as just a reminder, again, morning and evening. You can spray your clothes. Then I'll give explicit instructions where you don't just spray a room. You can, and it's a floral water, so you can spray it on your face. It's not an oil. So it's actually really a beautiful lavender from the Middle East. So it's not like a European sweet type of smell, and it's very mild. Again, moms normally they love it. And you spray it on your face, you inhale, you hold it for 10 seconds, and then you release. And then I recommend to do it 2 to 3 times. And again, hold your breath, minimum like 10 seconds if you can go longer. And that's how you get any type of aromatherapy type of effect. You do that for your body. It just relaxes you. Just stick it in your handbag and go out if you'd like.
Okay, yes, she said, actually, while you were going over that, right before you said that moms love it, she's sitting there with her eyes rolled back going, oh, I love it. She's spraying it on herself right now. Yeah. So she does love it.
Oh, good. Okay, so then the evening, again, you can do, and I concentrate this for moms in the beginning. The feminine wash you can do again. Again, the area really below the waist needs to be taken care of. Okay, it's been through a lot. It's been a lot of trauma. There's been, the perineum wall has been carrying the baby and the swollen organs, and it's stressed. And so you really need to take care of the perineum area. So again, you can do another feminine wash in the evening, and this could take 5 minutes. The skin in the perineum area is just as thin as the skin under your eye. So it's so thin, it doesn't take long. And a way you can also do it that would help the area is heat the area first. Maybe sit in the bath on a stool if you'd like, you don't do the sits, and you can just pour hot water over the area, not hot, just warm water. Get everything warm down there. Again, you're in a cold state, and then do your sitz bath, and then do your do your feminine wash. Again, you can just prepare the area so it's absorbed quickly. These things don't have to take a long time. It could take five minutes. Okay, so then you have your tea with dinner. Again, 1 sachet. And some moms, they could use each tea bag twice if they really like the taste. And so a minimum of twice a day. You have the tea again in the evening with dinner, an hour after breastfeeding, 5 to 7 ounces of water. Let it steep for 3 to 5 minutes, and it's to be drunk not really hot, but warm, like a nice warm, not cold. So depending on the type of cup you use, nothing is cold. And when things are cold, the herb, I think the usage of the herb is better when it's warm, the healing components. And you never ever add cold water to a hot herbal mix. That cold water will dissipate the healing capabilities of the herbs. So just let it, you always must let it cool naturally. Okay, and then the virgin coconut oil I have there for the evening. If you decide, use the herbal oil in the morning when you're around and it's circulation and your body's going and you're trying to have that type of recirculation happening when you're moving instead of in the evening, you use the virgin coconut oil in the evening is better, and that's just really soothing for the skin. It helps. It's the oldest product in the world used for stretch marks, healing and prevention of stretch marks. You can use that prenatally as well. And then when you're starting to go to bed, or you have a moment where you can rest your eyes for 20 minutes, there's the calming herbal blend. Now the calming blend, this particular recipe has been used for postnatal blues for centuries in Malaysia. And so it's a little packet that you have about a tablespoon of water. You make a paste that you apply to the forehead, all on the forehead, and I've used this and it's really fantastic. If you're sleep deprived, you have headaches from that, you're tired, you let sit. So you put like a lavender pillow or some kind of pillow to cover your eyes, and then you lay on the bed or wherever, somewhere quiet. If you have TV on, your mind is going to be tuning into that. So try to tune out and go somewhere where it's quiet. And if you can get a half an hour in, that'd be great. If you could even do like an hour, that'd be fantastic. And your mind is just really refreshed for the next 4 hours. It's a really wonderful product. And again, it's a traditional recipe for postnatal blues. And on my website, on the product pages, there's a list of all the ingredients that are in each product. You can see what exactly is in there.
Okay, and I noticed that on there, I think it's you're using the calming blend about every 4 days or so on the average.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And with because the set is really up to 30 days, people use it longer. So for each mom, they can determine whether some moms are smaller, some are bigger, how much product you need for you. Like the calming herbal blend, like for me, I use one session, one packet, and I use it up at my forehead. If you have a really small forehead or you don't want that much on, but you really want to make sure you use the products. And yes, every 4 day, like in the 18-day program, there's 4 days where you do a concentrated use of the products. The other days it's spread out, but there's the 4 days you use the calming blend and the bore scrub just twice a week.
Okay, now I was thinking about the book, the Mommy Plan, and if Dad is going to be in charge, or if he's going to take charge of his wife's postpartum recovery by making sure that he is supporting her, and say if you're using a kit like this, preparing the items for her. Your book, the last chapter is the Daddy Plan, and that would be a great thing if Dad's gonna be taking part in this. Not only should you have the kit, but you should have the book as well, so that Dad has that chapter. But chapters 1 through 11, that's going to assist mom with her journey through the postpartum period as well, correct?
Yes, because for the first time I put food anatomy, food science, anatomy, and medical science behind core tenets, what I feel is the most holistic traditional afterbirth practices in the world, and that's from Malaysia. And so I had to do original research and go backwards from finding out what they do to why they do it. So this took me several years, and I did my research through the Ministry of Health in Malaysia, the traditional complementary medicine department, where I went into the public hospitals and I talked to nurses and doctors because they give 6 free 2-hour body therapy treatments and wrappings to all their moms that give birth in public hospitals within the first 44 days, within the first 6 weeks. And so this explains how you keep the core warm and why you do it. It explains why the Chinese don't wash their hair, or the Vietnamese, or why. And it's very, when you read it, it makes sense. It makes common sense. And why they drink the broths, and why chicken soup is.
I think I think maybe your mic went out, because I just lost you. No? Okay. Well, I'm going to let you see if you can get your mic back on, and I'll keep talking here. If not, we'll have to end things here. But let's try this again. No, let me see. If you click on your picture, sorry, hold on. If you click on your picture down there, you can mute yourself. I don't know if that happened on accident, so you may just want to check, but I'm not hearing you at this point. That's strange. Technology, it's such a blast. Okay, so we'll see if she comes back. If she can get back on and her mic's on, we'll finish up. Let's see if you got back on. Go ahead and talk. Let's see if we can hear you. Nope. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I think we'll just wrap things up here. I think we've pretty much hit everything. If not, I'll talk with Valerie before we, or after we get off the show here. So I think we hit everything as far as the product guide talks about. And let's see. Oh, let's tell you about Valerie. She's got a new website coming out where you can buy the product. Okay, it is not live yet, but it will be coming out soon. And let me make sure I've got I think it's postpartumwellness.com. Wait. Hold on, I'm looking. I just wrote that. No, because there's only the thing. Okay, so what we'll do is when we put that up, we'll post on the Progressive Parenting Network site when we put this video up. Along with the video, we will put all Valerie's contact information. We will put up a link for her new website. And so if you're interested, if you're a professional who's interested in getting these kits to their clients, if you can either get in touch with Valerie or you can get in touch with us, and we will put you in the correct place. Otherwise, like I said, we'll have the information for her site up on our site very, very soon. And I think that's it for today. So hopefully I will be Very, very successful with taking care of everything for Gena. So far, it has been a much, much better postpartum experience, and I have Valerie to thank for that so far, and thank you very much. I'm going to put you on so you can wave and say goodbye, even though we can't hear you. So you
Okay.
wonderful, wonderful technology. It gets better and better, we promise. It'll get better and better. Okay, so join us next time. I'll probably be doing a few more of these while Gena's going through her postpartum recovery, because since I am trying to take responsibility for helping her have a great recovery, I'm going to do some of her normal workload as well. So you'll probably see me on here again. In fact, we may get on with Valerie again and finish up if we decide there's other things that we need to talk about. So until then, take care of yourselves and take care of each other, to steal from my beautiful wife. Bye-bye.